Now, if I can make the studio bigger, then we can have more people training in the same class and bonding and having fun and motivating each other. And we as studio, we can also reach out to more people.
Right.
We can also engage more people and deliver our service well to more at the same time.
Welcome to Gym Empire Secrets, the podcast where we talk with successful gym owners on how they grew their gyms and the hard lessons they learned along the way. My name is Justice Wah, and I'm the founder of Stratagym, where we help gym owners grow their gyms to full capacity and even over 7 figures. Before Stratagym, I grew my own gym to over 7 figures, even receiving offers from private equity firms to acquire the business. I've also helped many gym owners scale their businesses so that they can inspire more healthy lives while growing their bank accounts. Whether you're a seasoned gym owner or you've just opened your new studio, you'll discover the secrets on how to grow your gym. Hi everyone, my name is Justice and we are hosting Gym Empire Secrets today. I am super excited to have Kelvin, the owner of BFT Punggol Oasis, here with us today. Today we're going to talk about the journey of Punggol Oasis, how it came to be, what it stands for today, and the things that they've been doing along the way. So Kelvin, welcome to the show. We'd love to have you.
Hi, thank you.
First question for you, Kelvin. Can you share with me what's your story? How did you become a gym owner? I understand now you guys have 4 studios under your belt, so it's been a long journey for you.
Yes.
How did you start this journey?
Well, our story started back in 2021. Personally, for me, my story I wasn't in the gym or the fitness industry. I actually worked in my own business in the building and construction sector. And as we all know, 2020 was the year COVID struck the world, and we went into the pandemic, and it gave us an opportunity to reflect and look at what we want to do and perhaps even diversify. So one of my earlier part of my story here was that I have another 2 business partners. So they introduced me to fitness because it was something that caught up the public in 2021 or so, right after COVID, not that long. Well, we were still essentially in a COVID situation back then. So we decided to perhaps diversify and took the plunge and set up a BFT outlet back then in Tampines West. That was my foray into it because they introduced it to me. We felt that could be something not only we do as a business, but it is something fulfilling and we love to do it as well. Yes, so that is how we started BFT. And from there, we did not look back. And here we are today with our 4 studios.
Wow. Thanks for sharing, Kelvin. It's just to recap, you started off as it was a post-COVID diversification. Also, clearly a passion of yours as well. And I want to get into this because when we spoke about this particular part of the story, what struck out most to me was how I wanted to share with our listeners and your community as well about what happened when you first opened your first studio, right? Because that was such a eye-opening moment for you to see I'm not going to spoil it, but just to see the growth was probably the most inspiring thing that I've heard in the past few weeks. So what happened when you first opened?
It was rather overwhelming when we first took up the franchise and started to get into setting it up. We underestimated the amount of work and understanding and effort that has to go into getting it started. So before we started this business, as an outsider on the outside, going to the gym and train as a member and stuff like that, we look at it as, I come from the building and construction industry. It does not offer that complexity you see in the huge building projects, engineering projects. So so we perfectly underestimated it. We thought, look, how hard can it be? People are doing it from all walks of life. Eventually, when we started to do it, we started to set up the studio. We started to set up our platform for engaging prospective members, pre-sales, and so on and so forth. Then we realized how difficult it is. The learning curve is very steep, and we have a really short time to pick up things. So that was rather daunting. Back then, I was looking at doing the sales. I didn't have a team behind me, except for a couple of our own bosses and stuff like that. And we struggled badly. And that we learn as we go with a deadline to open the studio for members in a space of 8 to 10 weeks. Forgive me because it's been a couple of years, but that was about 10 weeks or plus minus a bit. And we had to get it up and running. We had to be ready for our members to come in and really enjoy the program. So on that part, we struggled over the renovation, over the member acquisition and understanding the system, right? The BFT system. So that really hit us quite hard, and it actually got us off to quite a poor start, because back then there were several other gyms opening and around the same time, because there was a period of there was a trend. So there were several other similar or identical gyms that were opening up in the vicinity or in the larger near area. So we not only have to learn, we also have to be able to keep up to what others are doing. So that was a difficult, and truth be told, honest to say, we start off very badly. In our opinion, right? We felt that we could have done better. And after opening, we took steps to address that. And we gradually changed the way we do things and improved the way we do things, which culminated in the subsequent studios where we applied there. That's how we did.
And today you are at the 4th studio, right? It's a beautiful space here, Punggol Oasis. What were the 2 biggest things you learned to go from 1 to 4 studios, do you think?
Initially, when we had 1 studio, when we moved on from our first studio to our second studio, that was something we were very confident about. And we opened the second studio probably a year or 2 after the first studio. So we have plenty of time to learn how to run the studio and how to engage members and all that kind of stuff. So we were in a good position. We were actually well prepared. Everything we knew ahead, the timelines and so on and so forth. So Punggol Oasis was our second studio. So what we learned was to be prepared, and having knowledge in being prepared really helped us smoothen out. But we still meet hiccups. I can share a couple of hiccups when we first started here, right? First was we had dates of taking over, handing over with the management. It's different from our first studio. So here we have to do it and liaise with the authorities here. So it actually altered our timeline a little. But we still managed to overcome it because we have added in some buffer here and there. And we wanted to do very well. We wanted to learn from our mistake. And we thought that whatever we've done, the greatest learning point was whatever we have done in the past in our first studio, it cannot be 100% replicated. It is scalable, but it's not 100% replicated. You still need to go down and treat it as your first opening studio, right? Not everything can be replicated. And the franchise has also advanced with changes in the program, in the equipment and stuff like that. We have to get ourselves attuned to those things as well. So that was the greatest thing that I thought we learned, and we set ourselves very lofty targets back then.
Thanks for sharing, Kelvin. I think for not just gym owners listening to this, but anybody listening to this, to see that growth from 1 to 4, and clearly when you share, it's a lot of, I like to call it battle scars, where you've really been through the tough times in order to get to where you guys are today. So can you share a little bit more with me about BFT? What is BFT? Your community obviously knows it very well. Your clients, your team as well. But to the average listener, maybe you haven't heard of BFT before.
Now, BFT is the acronym for Body Fit Training. That's our brand name. And it's essentially class group training, but there are coaches on the ground to guide members while they follow the predetermined program that has been designed, right, which is scientifically designed, I must say, and known and proven to be effective. So BFT is something, our program is something that actually it is open to masses. That means people from all walks of life, different demographics, different fitness level, all can come in and train and bring their fitness level up. So there's mass appeal, and there is no worry of, some people might worry that they do not have the physique, or they do not have the mentality, or simply they do not have the confidence to come into the gym and start to the studio to start to work out. So that is in a nutshell what we are as BFT.
Wow.
Yeah.
Body fit training, it's really that community, that sense of group classes that helps clients to achieve their fitness goals as well.
Exactly.
And you have 4 studios under your belt now, right? You have Tampines West, Daisy Farm, Punggol Coast, Punggol Oasis. What's different about these 4 studios versus the other BFTs in your mind?
Okay.
As you know, the differences, the things you guys do.
Okay. I will be honest to say that usually I visit mostly my own studios for training. And I seldom have time to visit other studios. So I wouldn't want to compare. But what I think that we do well, and this is some feedback given to us also by our own members, is that we have a set of our own ways of carrying out classes, managing the operational readiness of the studio, and giving members who come in feeling convenienced, feeling welcomed, feeling great, and attaining their fitness goals. I think we are not that far from other good studios in the market. Yeah, that's probably one of our plus points as well, I guess. Furthermore, we also take a strong emphasis on community building, and community building is a good culture in the studio among the members, good relationships, friendly coaches, and these actually helps to lift the studio's experience for all our members as well who comes in.
Can you share a bit more about the community service work and that you guys do, the charity, right? Because you mentioned in our previous conversation, it's really such a big part of your identity. And I always find that the work that the gyms do, or the teams, the coaches, the members, what they believe in is usually a reflection of who the founder is. So the fact that all of you guys are so involved in charity and community service, I think speaks to the character and identity of your community, right? Can you share a bit more about the work you've done before?
Well, basically, for a start, right from day one, maybe it's carved into my bones already, because I've been a community volunteer in this area for about nearly 10 years. So part of our mission, I feel, is community outreach, because we want to build a community here. We also have to look at the wider community, and we also engage our stakeholders here, our landlords and all those people who are involved, and they actually also encourage us. So right from the very beginning, we did some charity work. We tied up some of our promotional package to public, where we also donate part of the proceeds to the Samaritans SOS, and to support mental wellness in Singapore. And that is one of the charity work we do. Some other community engagement work that we do includes we engage the local scene. So for example, we are here in Punggol Oasis. We engage the local scenes where there are some sports interest groups that we actually offer them some collaboration. We conduct workshops for them. We ask them to come in here for try it out so that they can share with their sports community. And these collaboration involve us in the community. Furthermore, we also use that opportunity to get to know the various sports interest group here, and our members can actually take up some of the interest that they are providing. So it's actually a win-win, and everybody gets something extra out of this entire journey where we pursue our fitness goals. So we thought that was a good way to enhance also our brand and also our visibility with the general public in our vicinity. And as of recent one, because we opened another outlet in Punggol Coast, just beside SIT, we have a series of collaboration to sponsor and support SIT's programs, their sports program, and offer them some promotional deals, as well as giving them an opportunity to visit us and showcase what we can do for them. So these are all the community work that we do in addition to the basic functions of our studio. That is, and maybe the last one I would say, probably a lot of studios are doing is, we are actively affiliated in the HYROX program. So we actually prepare our members to go for the HYROX race, not only in Singapore, but some of them actually go overseas and do it. So we are constantly looking at ways where we can connect to the wider public and not just within our own studio network. We are in Punggol area. Punggol Oasis is Punggol area. The entire town has more than 100,000 households, but we only have several hundred members, let's say. So there is always room to share what we can deliver for them with the wider public. There's always things to look out for us. That's how I look at it. Yes.
I can see that. Thanks, Kelvin. There's SOS, SIT, as well as just the wider Punggol community that you guys serve. Let's talk a bit more about your community. Who are the people that usually find themselves here, joining your community? What type of demographics are they? Who do they usually look like, or what do they usually look like, or what do they do that find themselves part of your community?
Well, you want to put a face to it, right? One very clear type of people who will be with us will be someone who wants to have a great fitness improvement. They want to improve their fitness. They want to improve their health. They come over here and they progressively work their way up to lift their training and fitness levels. So this is the majority of our members are like this. Demographics wise, it is broad, right? We have members as young as 16 to 18 years old. I think our first member, the youngest member when we opened Punggol Oasis was 16. In fact, actually wanted to sign up, but she haven't passed her birthday yet. So she had to wait until her birthday over because we don't accept under 16s. So the youngest was 16 and the oldest we have was past 60. Because
16 to 60.
Yeah, 16 to 60. Yeah. So they come in with very, very different fitness level, age, different reasons. Some because they want to work out to improve their health. Some they have some targets they want to achieve. For example, participation in HYROX races and things like that. Some might even just want to pass IPPT. That is one of the many reasons. So they come from different reasons and they love the program and they continue, and eventually they see a lot of improvement in some of the, after a period of time, we have these scans that helps them to check up their progress. You know, they have reduced fat levels, their muscle gain percentage, and so on and so forth. So these things actually is there for them to see for themselves. And we do have periodical programs like challenges over a certain period of time where they will follow the program. Nutritional advice will also be given to them, and we linked up with prep food suppliers to give them an option to follow a set of diet, a nutritional diet. And in fact, it becomes kind of like a little competition where the one with the best result gets something like a prize from the franchise and from us as well. Yeah.
I love that you're also invested in the client journey and the transformation as well. And you serve anybody from 16 to 60 that is serious about their fitness goals. Be it performance-wise with HYROX, IPPT, or just looking better overall. Now that you've opened your fourth studio, can you share a bit more about the goals for 2026 for the 4 studios you have, your team, your community? What are you looking to achieve moving forward in the next year?
typically we do set some reasonable targets, like what we want to achieve in terms of value delivered to members and training outcomes, festive calendars ahead in the year, and even member acquisition. So we do have a goal in mind, and we want to achieve that by continue do what we do well. And also my team will constantly look out for avenues, look out for ways to improve all the metrics set in the studio, whether it is value delivery, fitness improvement, coaches, training standards, and member acquisition, and as well as community engagement. All these are actually multifaceted. All these will put together and help us achieve what we want to achieve. I wouldn't put a certain numerical figure attached to it, but we do have some metrics we look at over the years. So those will tell us whether we do well or don't do well.
Right.
And over the past 2 years here, we have been rather strong. I'm very happy and proud of the team here, where we consistently maintain a good number of members who are very, very supportive of us.
I love that. I love that confidence in your team as well as your community. I think it can show with just the growth of your studios, but it also shows just from me talking to you as a person as well. What do you think, if there was one challenge that you've been facing so far with regards to the journey of your gyms, what do you think is probably the key challenge that you guys faced recently and that you would like to address or really figure out in this upcoming year?
Well, personally, every gym or every studio, we will surely have challenges.
Yeah.
Be it from members' expectations of us, which is very crucial. Our coaches who continual improvement in their coaching delivery. These are constant challenges that plagues, I would say, everyone. And these challenges will be addressed and looked at as we move down the year. These are some areas that I think we should be looking at to further enhance the experience of our members, which is our core interest here. Our core mission here is
just that member experience,
yes,
and building that trust in the community.
We want them to get the most out of the program, because the most important thing is they come here to seek a fitness outcome, and this outcome is something that we want them to achieve from our delivery. So that's very important. Beyond that, if they can have an additional experience of feeling community spirit, community bonding with other members, many of them have become friends here. Before that, they were probably just, they were strangers, but staying in the same town. After they come here, they became friends. Some became friends with us as well. These are little things which are very, very important, but we are actively and constantly looking to improve that. I will term it or coin it as continual improvement.
Right. Right. Actually, Kelvin, I'm glad you brought that up, because I'm going to ask you one more question. But after the last question for today, I really want to dive deep. For today's session, I really want to dive deep with the student experience as well. So we're going to invite Derek later on onto the show as well, just to speak a little bit more about the member experience. But one final question for you today to wrap up your segment of the podcast, okay? If you had a magic wand and you could wish for anything as of this point for your 4 studios, what would it be and why?
If I'm able to magic dust here, to be honest, how many wish do I get?
Just one.
Just one. So now the one wish I would want to have, I will make this studio larger.
Wow.
Why would I do that?
Space-wise?
Yes.
Okay.
Physical
Wow.
space. I want this space to be larger.
Okay. Why is that? That's
First
a
of
great
all,
wish.
as I've said, we have tremendous support for our members here. Every class, there is a limit to how much we can take for a single class throughout the day. That is a physical limit that we experience on a day-to-day basis. Now, if I can make the studio bigger, then we can have more people training in the same class and bonding and having fun and motivating each other. And we as studio, we can also reach out to more people.
Right.
We can also engage more people and deliver our service well to more at the same time. That would be absolutely great if that can happen.
Wow. Looks like if you wave the magic wand to make the studio bigger, it looks like potentially you're not done at number 4, right? You would like to open as many as possible. Would you say that?
Fingers crossed, because we, from 1 to 2 and to 3 to 4 studios, it wasn't exactly like ambition path where we, by this timeline, I need to have 1 studio, 2 studio. We simply look at the situation, and whenever there's opportunity come out and it makes sense for us to do it, whether we are able to do it, we have the capacity to do it, we have the resources to carry out, we will consider doing it. And we don't close the doors. But as of now, if you ask me, for 2026, we are more likely to be focused on continual improvement in our current studios, because we are still relatively young. Our 4th studio just opened less than a year ago, a couple of months back. It would be better, we feel, for us to also concentrate on delivering more for our existing members. But no doors closed. That could be a 5. That could be not. I can't say.
Wow. Thanks, Kelvin. I think what we've discussed today, I'm sure is going to be so exciting and so interesting, and really just something to look forward to for your community as well. I think the story, the journey that we've discussed, as well as the commitment you and your team have to making sure members get results, they feel at home, they feel safe, and that you can provide the level of service that you expect of yourselves. I'm sure that this is going to be a great episode for all our listeners. So we thank you so much.
Thank you.
And at this point, I'm going to invite Derek on the show. But before that, just want to give you an official
thank you, Justice. Thank you
for
very
your time
much
as well.
Thank you.
Everyone, welcome back to part 2 of the podcast Gym Empire Secrets for BFT Punggol Oasis. I am so excited to welcome the studio manager. After the owner, Kelvin, now we have the studio manager himself, Derek, onto the show. Welcome, Derek. We're so glad to have you.
Thank you, Justice. Such a great honor to be part of the show. I cannot imagine that running a gym, one day we would just happen to appear onto this show. And it is also a joy to share what we have went through and also our experiences, and hope everybody can benefit something from it.
I'm excited to ask this question because for Derek, he's been with the team since they opened their first studio at Tampines West. So Derek, can you share your story? How did you end up being the studio manager for these 4 studios? Where did you start? How did you end up here?
Okay. Wow. Actually, I started with BFT Tampines West. So we started in December 2021. So I came aboard full-time in somewhere around March 2022. That's where actually Tampines West started to see an influx of members, and that's where we do the different collaborations. And having myself dedicated to do this while running the classes, actually it also gave us the opportunity to see where we can actually expand to. So I am glad that I'm given that opportunity, coming from Tampines West, starting out from there as a coach, and also from there moving on to help with the studio matters, running the studio, and then having that opportunity to help open the second studio in Punggol Oasis and subsequent studios under the same franchise. So coming on to Punggol Oasis, yes, when we first wanted to do up a studio in Punggol, I would say that this is an untapped market. So there were a lot of potential. And yes, indeed, people are actually looking forward to a new gym starting out in Punggol. So previously in Punggol, there was just F45 and Anytime Fitness. And I think we received quite a lot of support from the start. Yeah, so we actually got the record number of membership signups. That's one.
Wow.
That's one.
What an accomplishment.
But on the other hand, getting the numbers is one. On the other hand, is about maintaining that number, giving members the kind of experience that we always talk about for BFT, and what I pride myself about. So coming on to Punggol Oasis, actually, I would say from my experience running the gym since we opened in September 2023, it has really been a lot to learn for me. There are definitely ups and downs. We actually do make sure that even any positive or any negative feedback, we just take it in our stride. And that's where we actually start to reflect. That's where we start to grow. I think that is something that I personally want to do that, also for my personal growth, also for the studio's growth as well, to see actually to see improvements in what we do on a daily basis. So I'm glad to say that we have an 18 level coaches.
I love
So
that.
I'm so proud of my team because they are there day in, day out, including myself, to actually make sure that everyone is well taken care of. Yeah. So I would say that I want to replicate whatever energy we had from Tampines West to Punggol, and also to subsequent studios that we opened.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. Just from that few minutes of sharing, I can tell, first of all, your passion for your team and your current role. And I very rarely hear a studio manager stamping and that mark of confidence on the team like you just did. I have an 18 and I know it. And I love that. And I think that's probably the reason why your community is so strong. You're able to grow to 4 studios. Can you share a little bit more what it's like being a studio manager for you? What's the day-to-day? What are your challenges? What are your successes? What are the things you enjoy? And maybe the things you don't enjoy so much as well.
Okay. Definitely one thing I enjoy is meeting the people, meeting the members, running the classes, and also meeting my team. That's something that I really enjoy, talking to people. And also part of the role of a studio manager is also to promote BFT Punggol Oasis per se to prospects. So I do get leads or people asking about Punggol Oasis, about how to join the community, etc. So that's where we actually do our campaigns. I'm also involved in these campaigns to actually promote Punggol Oasis per se. So that is something that I do on a day-to-day basis, and of course, ensuring members' experience is positive, not just positive, but also wonderful membership experience on a daily basis. So we ensure that every class that we run, every day that we do the different sessions, that is something for the members to take.
Focusing on the member experience, meeting your team, having the communication between there as well, the campaigns, outreach. Can you share what could a first timer expect at BFT? If I don't know anything, if I'm coming to your studio for the first time ever, maybe I just inquire, maybe I want to find more. What could they expect?
All right. So BFT stands for Body Fit Training. We are a strength and conditioning class. So I think a lot of people, they get intimidated by the word strength and conditioning.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So especially, we do have a lot of inquiries from female clients. Yeah. So we always, personally, I would always emphasize that it is nothing intimidating. Although the name suggested strength and conditioning, a lot of times that when a newcomer comes in, we actually would check in with them. We will ask them like, where is the starting point? And then from there, we will regress the exercises if needed to suit them. So although it is in a group class setting, we try to tailor the exercise to that specific individual. So that is where I guess people kind of like, they kind of see that the coach is actually tailoring to my proficiency level, and also at the end of the day is also the members' safety and well-being. So from there they can start to progress at their own pace, although it's in the group setting. So a lot of times we actually take note on the coach's side that certain members, they need certain progressions, certain members, they need certain regressions, and from there we actually work with these members as they come into class, say on a weekly basis or even on a daily basis, that we can actually progress from there.
Really, that emphasis on the regressions
Yeah.
and the compatibility of any first timers, not to be
Yes.
intimidated by group classes,
Yep.
strength and conditioning. It's really applicable to anyone who would like to transform their bodies and their lives as
Yep.
well. Wow.
So we have members ranging in their early 20s all the way to their 60s,
Wow.
close to 70s.
Yeah.
So obviously the training methodology for somebody who is older versus somebody in their 20s is very different. So
Yeah.
that's where we cater the different intensities and or even change the exercises accordingly based on their movement level. So I guess that's where the personalization comes in,
Yeah.
although it is a group class setting. And maybe that's one of the things that stands us out.
It's constant focus on helping this client, even though it's in a group class setting.
Yes.
And you can almost, it sounds like you guys are almost trying to combine that customization with that community
Yes.
for you.
Yes.
Wow.
So as much as possible, we would actually encourage people to interact during the class. And from there, we are actually very joyful to see that people actually form their own communities,
Right.
sub-communities within the class as well. And this actually improves the accountability for each and every one of them.
Yeah.
So when they come in, they come in as a group, they work out as a group, and they are very open to any other newcomers that are coming in. And it is very heartening to see that older members, like they are more experienced, they are actually on the ground, they are actually giving some tips to the newer members on what are the program flow, etc. Especially if the newer members may feel a little bit too intimidating to look for the coach, or they are too shy. So we do have quite a lot of members who take their own initiative to actually look out for people.
Right.
And in terms of class safety, I think this is, it becomes everyone's responsibility.
Yeah.
So they are not here just to do their program, but they are here to actually look out for the interests of others. And that
Wow.
is something that is very heartening as well to see.
Wow. Your members are also spreading the word. They are also being inclusive. They are also
Yes.
reaching out to new
Yes.
members. Wow, I love it. I love
Yeah.
it. And I think that trickles down from the coaching team all the way down to the members, right? If I've joined the community for 6 months now, I've gone over that barrier, right? I'm not so scared of strength, conditioning, group classes, right? I've gone over that hump. As a member of this vibrant community, what can I expect 6 months, a year down the line? What does it look like?
All right. So actually for us, we do have other training programs. Like for example, we have HYROX training programs. So a lot of our members, they want to try fitness races. HYROX is just one of them. They might want to try like a half marathon or even a full marathon. And what we offer actually forms a solid foundation to their training. So for example, if you're talking about HYROX training, a lot of them actually are willing to join because their friends join first. So they want to try out something different, and they have the confidence and also the technical ability to actually do that because they have been here for a while, kind of know the movement standards, and from there it's more about conditioning themselves physically and also mentally for the race. And they are not doing that alone. They are doing that within a community, and that is where the power of community comes in. Yeah, that's where the encouragement, the accountability, and then that's where the motivation of when people comes in to train on a week in, week out basis just for a particular race.
Almost as if they could look forward to being a part of the community and enjoying new experiences. Potentially, if it suits them, they could also challenge themselves in the HYROX competitions or any other community events as well.
Yeah. So another thing about people who are coming in, say for example, 6 months in, from our coaching team, we actually do challenge them as well in terms of not just moving heavier. It's not just moving faster or carrying something heavier. It's about refining their techniques as well. They do on a week in, week out basis. What is that 1% that they can do better today versus they come in yesterday? So I think these little things that we look out for these individuals, they feel appreciated that the coaches are not just looking out for them. We are actually pushing them in a right way, in a right frequency where we are not overbearing, but we want them to just reach that 1%. getting that 1% better than what they did yesterday.
Wow. I love that. Thanks for sharing all of that, Derek. There's so much to look forward to, and so many of your members, they really live out what you just said. And I think that is the biggest testament to the amount of work that you put into the community, that you guys and your team, your coaching, your A-star coaching team put into the community. If I was in the Punggol area and I just watched this podcast, so I just heard about BFT, PO, PC, Tampines West, Daisy Farm, right? How do I get in touch with you guys?
Very simple. You can just reach out to the number below and we'll just get in touch with you. Don't be intimidated. Just have an open mind. Come on, try it out, and you'll be amazed.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Derek, for your time as well. We're so glad to have you. And I look forward to this episode being a piece where we can tell your story as well as tell Kelvin's story in the 4 studios that you guys have so far. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay. That's it for this episode of Gym Empire Secrets. If you enjoyed this conversation, you can subscribe on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you're listening to this for future episodes. This podcast was brought to you by Stratagym, where we help gym owners scale their gyms to full capacity and even beyond 7 figures, so that gym owners can inspire more healthy lives while growing their bank accounts. To learn more about our community or see how we can help you, visit stratagym.sg/join.